Good evening to Warga Malaysia. You're watching News at 10. I'm Brendan Lepal. Making the headlines tonight. Over 5 million EPF members sign up for special withdrawal facility. Malaysians can return to hometown for Idul Fitri. The Employees Provident Fund EPF has received a total of 5.3 million applications worth 40.1 billion ringgit under the special withdrawal facility as at 8 p.m. on 14 April. In a statement today, the pension fund said payments will be made in batches, with the first batch set to commence on 20th April. It said the number of applications received represented 44% out of the 11.95 million members who were eligible to withdraw their savings under the facility. Breaking down by wage groups, EPF said this represented 55% of eligible B40 members, 59% of M40 members, and 39% of T20 members. It said a further 29% of informal and inactive members also applied. Based on feedback from members applying for the facility, EPF said the three top reasons for applying included reduction in income or wage, assist affected spouse or family members, and to increase sources of income, while the utilization of proceeds will be for the purpose of supplementing daily or monthly essential expenditure, settling outstanding debts, increasing emergency fund, and assisting affected family members with the remaining for other purposes such as paying for children's education, non-essential expenditure, and investment. The Labuan containerized port of Labuan Liberty Wharf is capable of handling the influx of vessels from the southern Philippines if barter trade is allowed to resume. The Malaysian Malay Chamber of Commerce DPMM Labuan President Datuk Suhaili Abdul Rahman said DPMM Labuan is in favour of the proposed revival of the island's traditional business activity, which had benefited the local businesses.
Demi untuk mengaktifkan semula ekonomi Labuan, maka tindakan-tindakan proaktif ke arah mengaktifkan semula barter trade ini harus dimulakan dengan kadar yang segeralah, kerana Labuan sangat sepi dan kita sebenarnya mempunyai advantage sebagai duty free island.
He said the natural depth within the Labuan Liberty Wharf waters and its surroundings and the size of its jetty should be able to handle the barter trade activities and not necessarily require a new jetty for the purpose. Datuk Suhaili also said that the security aspect of Sabah waters and Labuan must also be tightly controlled. The Fisheries Development Authority of Malaysia has allocated 1 million ringgit to distribute free frozen fish, Q-fish, in all parliamentary constituencies to help the people affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Its chairman, Datuk Syed Abu Hussein Hafiz Syed Abdul Fasal, said this is because the government listens to the grievances of the people who are still having difficulties getting fish supplies.
Kita buat khususnya di Bukit Gantang sebab mereka yang di kampung ni kadang-kadang kerana tak mampu, tidak mampu nak beli ikan-ikan yang istimewa macam tu. Ikan-ikan bawal emas, ikan nyok-nyok harganya RM26 ke RM30. Jadi kita buat leleran itu tak sampai RM10 sekilo.
Speaking at a press conference at the Bukit Gantang Parliamentary Service Centre today, Datuk Syed Abu Hussein, who is also Bukit Gantang Member of Parliament, said the price of fish is expected to stabilise next month, but foreign workers are given permission to enter the country to work on deep-sea fishing vessels. The government is holding firm to its decision to allow Malaysians to balik kampung to celebrate Idul Fitri this year. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa Yaakob said he had advised the public to celebrate with their families in their hometowns after 2 years of not celebrating following the implementation of the Movement Control Order. The Premier will also do things slightly differently this year by not holding an open house at the Sri Perdana on the first day of Aidilfitri. Instead, the open house will be held on 8 May to give opportunity for the rakyat to celebrate with their families first. However, the Prime Minister also asked the public to continue to exercise self-control, even though a lot of flexibility has been given after the country entered the transition to the endemic phase.
Dan saya pun merancang untuk sambutan Hari Raya Open House untuk Perdana Menteri di Sri Perdana. Saya tak buat hari pertama. Biasanya hari pertama raya Open House rumah Perdana Menteri. Tahun ini tidak, sebab saya nak beri peluang semua orang balik kampung dulu. Jadi kita akan buat hari Ahad 8 hari bulan lah, kalau 7 8 hari bulan Mei. Jadi balik kampung dulu, beraya dulu dengan family. Sebab sambutan malam raya tu memang ditunggu-tunggu.
The COVID-19 Omicron variant is still considered a serious threat, especially for high-risk groups. Speaking to reporters after visiting Sultanah Nur Zahira Hospital in Kuala Terengganu today, Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said, therefore, optimal protection should be given, especially to the elderly, chronic patients with high blood pressure and diabetes, and those with immune system problems.
Jadi bagi mereka yang kata COVID Omicron ni sudah jadi macam sesama biasa, mungkin untuk setengah orang dia sesama biasa. Tetapi untuk warga emas, untuk mereka yang ada tekanan darah tinggi, kencing manis dan mereka yang ada sistem imun yang lemah, COVID Omicron ni adalah penyakit yang serius yang boleh membawa mudarat yang serius. Jadi bagi mereka sangat-sangat digalakkan untuk mendapatkan booster. Sebab kalau dijangkiti dengan Omicron ini, kesan dia, gejala dia adalah buruk kepada kumpulan yang saya sebutkan tadi. Jadi dalam kita masuk ke dalam fasa peralihan, untuk sebahagian besar 98% daripada kes aktif boleh saja pulih di rumah. Duduk rumah 7 hari, makan Panadol dan dia akan pulih. Ya. Tetapi bagi sebahagian daripada mereka yang saya sebut, kategori yang saya sebutkan tadi, COVID, Omicron masih lagi penyakit yang serius.
Khairi, who did not rule out the possibility of an increase in infections during the festive celebration, said efforts to increase the percentage of booster doses, especially among the elderly, needed to be stepped up, and his office would instruct the state health directors to do so before the celebrations. He also said MOH is satisfied with the trend of infection, adding that hospitals are not under pressure in terms of admission to intensive care unit. Coming up next, Hajj subsidy to be provided to all pilgrims. Stay with us. The provision of Hajj subsidy to all pilgrims will be continued, despite suggestions from certain quarters that it should be done in a targeted manner. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, the method and formula for distribution of the subsidy would be announced in the future.
Dan perlu ingat, duit ni bukan duit kerajaan. Duit ini adalah duit yang kita pergi itu ialah bantuan haji yang ambil daripada keuntungan daripada pendeposit yang simpan situ. Setakat hari ini mungkin kita bagi dua-dua dulu. Tapi adalah dia punya formula yang kita nak bagi nanti. Penyimpan di sana. Ni kaedah. Tabung haji ni berbeza dengan lain. Dia satu tabung, yang keduanya haji.
Regarding the cost of performing Hajj, he said the government will ensure that the cost will not be a burden to the pilgrims. Dato' Idris also informed that an appeal letter has been sent to Saudi Arabia to request for a larger quota of Hajj pilgrims this year. In a related development, Dato' Idris said the government, through the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, plans to collaborate with all state family development excos in a bid to curb the issue of divorce in the country. He said the efforts would include courses offered on a voluntary basis for couples who have been married for 4 to 6 years, as well as a program involving guidance from counsellors.
Hari ini pra perkahwinan tu mereka wajib, pasal kalau tidak mereka tak boleh untuk nak berkahwin kan. Tapi yang ini sebagai satu untuk edukasi untuk kita didik mereka dan kita nak menghalang benda itu, kita cuba untuk laksanakan.
Regarding the divorce rate in Kelantan and Selangor, which are among the highest in the country, Dato' Idris said religious authorities will provide counselling and courses to help overcome the issue. Meanwhile, he also described the act of expressing intent to divorce through online media as dishonourable and a sign of the end of times. The police are looking for a man who allegedly slashed 4 family members with a machete during the breaking of fast in a house at Kampung Sedili Kecil, Kuala Sedili, Johor on Thursday. Kota Tinggi Police Chief Superintendent Hussein Zamora in a statement today said the suspect, Muhammad Adi Hashim, 38, of number 1003 Block 12, Felda Air Tawa 3, Kota Tinggi, works at a pineapple plantation. Hussein added that in the incident at 7:11 p.m., the 4 victims, comprising his wife in her 30s, mother-in-law in her 50s, sister-in-law in her 30s, and a 16-year-old brother-in-law were severely injured and were rushed to the hospital. Investigations found that the suspect suddenly got angry and started to slash the 4 victims who were in the house using a machete. During the incident, Hussein said the suspect's 2 children, aged 5 and 2 months, who were with the wife, were unharmed. According to Hussein, the 4 victims are in stable condition and being treated at the Kota Tinggi Hospital, adding that the cause of the incident is still being investigated. He added that the case is being investigated under Section 326 of the Penal Code. Members of the public with information on the suspect's whereabouts are urged to contact the investigating officer, Inspector Nurul Shafiqah Khalid, using the phone number shown on the screen or any nearest police station. First, Prime Minister Dato' Sri Semasa Yaakob stated that Malaysia strongly condemns attacks by Israeli armed forces on Palestinian civilians and congregants at Al-Aqsa Mosque yesterday. The Premier made the statement following the increased tensions in the Israeli-occupied territories in Palestine. Dato' Sri Semasa further said that the attack on one of the holiest mosques for Muslims in the month of Ramadan is evidence of the continued violence and apartheid acts committed by the Israeli towards the Palestinians. Therefore, he urged the international community to renew their determination to find a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Meanwhile, he stated that Malaysia is unwavering in its support for the Palestinians to set up an independent Palestine nation, as well as striving for peace and harmony in the West Bank. Meanwhile, hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza took to the streets in protest to defend their sovereignty over Baitul Maqdis and Al-Aqsa Mosque. At the same time, the Palestinians also praised and supported the actions of the youths who tirelessly defend the complex in Al-Aqsa. A Hamas spokesperson said the demonstration was a signal of the unity of Palestinians in protecting their holy site from further desecration. In Jordan, hundreds more gathered in Amman to condemn the despicable act of the Zionists who have intruded the area in Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Jordanians also carried Palestinian flags in a show of solidarity with them who are being oppressed and downtrodden on their own land. Tensions spiked in Palestine since early April when Israel conducted raids to arrest several Palestinians who they claim were highly wanted criminals. And in sports, Malaysia's challenge in Korea Masters ends. Stay with us.
been a drastic increase in suicide cases as compared with previous years. According to PDRM, as of March this year, a total of 336 suicide cases were recorded. We can manage this issue if we are able to identify the symptoms of early depression. Don't go through it alone. Go and get help.
Malaysia's challenge at the Korean Masters ended today when the country's last two competitors crashed out in the semi-finals. They involved national mixed doubles pair Goh Soon Huat and Siobhan Lai Jami, as well as national singles player Sung Jo Ven. The mixed doubles pair lost their chance to play in the finals when they suffered a surprise defeat at the hands of Chinese duo Wu Xuanyi and Huang Yaqiong. Unseeded Zhuan Yi Yachong only took 33 minutes to down the fourth-seeded pair 21-11, 21-15 during their match at Gwangju Yanzhou Stadium in Gwangju. The Chinese pair will take on compatriots and first seeds Wang Yi Liu and Huang Dongping, who eliminated host pair Yongjin and Li Yu Rim 21-12, 21-8 in the other semi-final match. National singles player Song Ju-wen also failed to make the finals when he lost to Japanese Kodai Naraoka 17-21, 23-21, 11-21 in the semi-finals. In tomorrow's finals, Naraoka will face South Korean Jeon Hyuk-jin, who surprised six-seed Sitikom Tamasin from Thailand, beating him 21-18, 21-15. Two Malaysian footballers playing in clubs abroad, Lukman Hakim Shamsuddin and Muhammad Hadi Fayad Abdul Raza, are among the 31 players called up to join the national under-23 squad's central training camp, starting this Tuesday, ahead of the Hanoi SEA Games next month. Lukman is currently playing for KV Kortrijk in Belgium, and Hadi Fayad is with Azul Claro Numazu in Japan. Head coach Brad Maloney has relied on 19 players from the squad that previously qualified for the Under-23 2022 Asian Cup and 2 players from the squad that played in the Under-23 AFF 2022 Championship in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, in February. The remaining players are Daniel Azri, Shahir Basha and Alif Haikal from Selangor FC, Darul Sham and Ahmad Aisar Hadi from JDT2, goalkeeper Rahadiatli Rahalim from Terengganu FC, Muslihuddin Atik and Safwan Mazlan from Terengganu FC2, and Hakimi Azim Rosli from Kuala Lumpur City FC. Meanwhile, the Football Association of Malaysia said UM Arena was chosen as venue for the camp, with 31 players called to report in stages after they have finished club commitments in the Super League and Premier League. Johor Darul Tazim JDT head coach Benjamin Mora was satisfied with his players' outstanding performance of trouncing 8-time Super China champions Guangzhou FC 5-0 to open their AFC Champions League ESL campaign this season in style in a Group I match at Sultan Ibrahim Stadium last night. Bergson da Silva drew blood in the 10 minutes when he scored with a header following a cross from teammate Shane Lowry. 3 minutes later, the Southern Tigers went 2 up after an attempt from their former Serie A player Fernando Forestieri was turned into goal by Guangzhou goalkeeper He Li Pan. Bergson made it 3-0 for JDT in the 27 minutes after evading 2 Guangzhou defenders to drive the ball home. The Brazilian was on target again in the 52nd minute after getting a pass from Lave Corbinong. Ramadan Saifullah completed Guangzhou's rout by scoring JDT's 5th goal in the 81st minute with an assist from Nazmi Faiz Mansour.
Is it the second team or the first team? It's Guangzhou. I mean, it's one of the biggest team in Asia that has collected a lot of titles in China, and of course it's one of the monsters in Asia, and we're going to face them like if they were the best team.
JDT are now at the top of Group I with 3 points, while Japan League champions Kawasaki Frontale and South Korean club Ulsan Hyundai share a point, while Guangzhou FC is at the bottom of the table with no points. In the second match on Monday, JDT will be meeting Ulsan Hyundai at the same venue. That concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, over 5 million EPF members sign up for special withdrawal facility. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till then, it's lights out. I'm Brandon Paul. Salam keluarga Malaysia. Take care and have a good weekend.